What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to Bitassist, where as the name suggests, we're here to assist you in understanding Bitcoin and of course altcoins. In today's episode, we're going to do a Binance Coin review, the #1 cryptocurrency exchange by daily and monthly volume. Of course, a lot of you are very familiar with Binance. I'm sure buying a lot of crypto on there. We're also going to look into the new $1 billion Binance Labs fund, which will be supporting startups and investing in existing blockchain-focused funds. So they like to call it the fund of funds. We're also going to cover briefly the next Binance or BNB token burn, which is going to be happening in July, and kind of speculate on the BNB price prediction for, however many months in the next few years. Of course, you do know when the burn happens, it does tend to pump the Binance price. So keep this in mind, and I really do like the tokenomics behind Binance. So before we get going, though, as usual, I do want to say a massive shout out to our community and everybody that's joining Bitassist here and liking our content, commenting on it, and of course sharing it. Do make sure to subscribe if you're new, everybody. We do a lot of effort into giving you the best coin reviews possible. We do a lot of research into these as well, so I do suggest to come along for the journey. And again, thank you so much to the community for doing that and, helping us get a little bit of momentum here on YouTube. So go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it, and do make sure to subscribe. Talking about the community, though, as some of you might know, we now do a community vote starting on a Monday, which is on our Twitter handle, and a vote for a coin that you'd like us to cover on a Friday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the description in the comments. So if you'd like to have your voice heard and comment, if you want to have your voice heard and vote, then go ahead and do that. And then lastly, we have a fantastic newsletter that comes out once a week. It's actually coming out tomorrow. We go ahead and we summarize what's happened in the market over the last week. We also give you some cool inside tips on which coins we're looking at and which ones could potentially have a great week ahead of it, backed by analytical and of course fundamental data. Okay, so as always, let's jump into the price sort of action for the coin in question, which today of course is Binance. So first of all, what you can see is some good green numbers, which is nice. Binance has done fairly well today, up around 13%. It was up almost as much as 18% earlier on this afternoon. Binance coin at around $16 right now, so it's come a huge way since the start of the Binance exchange. The BNB token has done incredibly well. The volume today for BNB is 154 million, so really big, really healthy. And the market cap for the BNB token is at $1.8 billion, making it the 17th ranked crypto on the market as of coin market cap. The circulating supply is around 114 million, with a total of 197 million. So yeah, I'm really quite bullish on Binance Coin's got a huge amount of utility, and I think it's something that needs to be considered for a cryptocurrency portfolio. If we go look down at the markets, of course it's going to be traded most widely on Binance. It's also actually on Bancor as well. But as you can see, if you want to pick up BNB, pop over to Binance and you can go pick that up on a huge amount of different pairs. So yeah, let's look at the charts and how it's performed since inception. I looked at this earlier. It's got really very good looking price action since inception, which was earlier in July. So we're going on for almost a year of the Binance token next month, which is exciting. They've come a huge way, pretty much stole the market immediately, taking most of the market from Bittrex and Poloniex. All-time high at around $23 if I remember correctly. Yeah, around $23, $24. So it's still fairly cheap today, but you'll see its Satoshi value is actually at all-time highs right now. So it's doing really well and performing incredibly well compared to the rest of the market. Just to show you how well it is performing, I just want to use this website again. It's called All-Time High Coin Index. It kind of shows you how far these coins are from their all-time highs. If we just click through the other way, you'll see a few examples here of, like, a lot of these cryptos are like 90 or 80% down from their all-time highs, including Dash, Ripple, Cardano, Verge, Qtum, NEM, very well-known cryptos who have been seriously battered since this, bear trend that we've had over the last 4 to 5 months. But what I want to show you is that these are the few cryptos that haven't, of course they have lost value, but haven't been affected as much. So you'll see here Binance is only down 33% from its all-time highs, which was around $24.91. We've also covered Decred before, we've also covered Ontology before, so and of course EOS. So these ones here, you need to keep in mind what are they doing different, or what kind of offering do they have that's allowing them to be less resistant to a bear market or a bear trend. So yeah, that's quite cool. So that was the reason why I picked this up today, and also because it's doing pretty well. I thought it would be nice to cover it, and it's a really strong crypto. So what we're going to do first is jump into the website, kind of just very briefly look over what it is in layman's terms. Then I found a great article. It is from October of last year, but it gives a good understanding of what Binance does, and of course its value proposition. We're then going to kind of look at the last token burn and what happened and how a token burn works. The next one again is in July, so something to look forward to, something to consider to invest in, considering the burn is next month. We're also going to look into this new fund called Binance Labs and kind of see what their plans are going forward. There's a good article here coming from the head of Binance Labs, Ella Zhang, which we're going to go over as well. Going to look into one of the cryptos that are now part of Binance Labs, one of the first. It's called Multicoin. They've raised between just over $30 million and are partnered, well not partnered, but are involved with Binance Labs. We're also going to look at a sort of speculative price prediction. This is a great article. It's a great read, really. It's very long. So what I'll do, I'll leave the link in the description. But it kind of gives you an idea of where you could value Binance Coin in the near to distant future. And then lastly, we're just going to quickly look over what Binance has got in the pipeline in the future. And one of those most exciting things is Binance Chain, which is their decentralized exchange. Great, so let's start with the site, really. What is Binance? Well, Binance, actually, I own some Binance, but I actually only found today where and why it's called Binance. So it's for binary plus finance equals Binance. So I like that. I thought that was quite cool. There's a meaning behind the name, and I always think a meaning behind any name is a lot better than just some generic crazy name. So what does Binance do? So of course a lot of you are very familiar with this, so I'm not going to spend too much time. What they do offer is incredibly high safety and stability. We do know that they've got a huge amount of money flowing through Binance, so they need to be incredibly safe. So they've got multi-tier and multi-cluster system architecture, high performance, so capable of processing 1.4 million orders per second, which is unrivaled, which is incredible. That's a few billion an hour. Sorry, so a few billion a minute even. So high liquidity, of course, abundant resources and partners. Everybody wants to be partnered with Binance nowadays because they have the highest liquidity. They have a fantastic app. They have a fantastic website as well. So they have great resources to use them. So all devices are supported: web, Android, iOS, mobile web, and Windows. Multilingual support. That was one of the major things for this exchange, is that they took very seriously to offer a huge amount of multilingual support. So, kudos to them, and it's really paid off that they've had people from all around the world wanting to use their exchange. And then, of course, Multicoin Support. Just mentions here Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Binance Token, but as we all know, they've got the majority of the top quality coins on their exchange. So very, very strong team as well. So led by Sizu or Shangpeng Zhao. Our team have experience in both Wall Street and crypto finance. Our team also have a track record of successful startups under their belt. So proven products. The underlying Binance platform has been deployed on 30 plus exchanges already. It supports all devices in multiple languages, offering a seamless user experience. Of course, they do have superior technology, hence why they were so were able to disrupt the market and take so much business from other exchanges, because they were just so much faster. Their order matching was so much more superior. So it says our certified matching engine is capable of processing 1.4 million orders per second, making Binance one of the fastest exchanges in the market. And then, of course, relationships are key in any business. They have massive relationships throughout. So we have solid relationships with industry leaders. Simply look at the list of investors and advisors who are willing to stand behind our platform. So that's just a very high level sort of overview of what Binance is. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through this article here, which was written by Omed, I don't know how to say this, Purnasiri Palacios. I hope I haven't messed that up, mate. And I tend to say this quite a lot. Like, a lot of people are very hard names to pronounce. But anyways, your article is really good. So just going to go through this, kind of give you an idea of Binance and what it is, with a little bit more detail. So Binance exists as a cryptocurrency exchange and an exchange with potential much higher than some may recognize. The vision is eternal as long as internal processes are achieved in a competitive manner. In fact, Binance is known for this by continuously updating new languages, adding new coins to the market, and facilitating trading coding competitions to address and compensate users. So like I said, they were really, really cool at adding a lot of languages, and of course they very quickly added the majority of the top coins when they started. Aside from the user-friendly perks, they statistically show impressive numbers relative to the age of their exchange. It should be recognized that the value of the coin and the user base on the exchange are directly proportional. So I do like that as well, and we'll go into more detail on that a little bit later on how the amount that the BNB token is used on the Binance exchange is relative to its price. And like I said, we'll go on to that shortly. Quick overview. So Binance completed their ICO on July 1st and opened their exchange only in July 13th. So like I said, almost about a year now, about a month away from being a year old. So within a year, they've become a multi-million, I think excess of a few billion now that they've put through this exchange, which is really quite phenomenal. They're pretty much still a startup. No, they are still a startup. Great. So what are the incentives for growth? So Binance has been ingenious in the manner of which they trace their roadmap with coin value. One of the key factors to keeping a coin healthy and growing is to account for inflation and deflation with regards to the coin's momentum. If a coin inflates during a dumping period, the probable potential of the coin dying increases. The main concern of the exchange is to get the ball rolling and get it rolling fast. Binance has achieved this by creating a free trader zone initially. So when they first started, of course, they were like, we want as many people to use our platform. So they pretty much opened the doors and opened the floodgates and said, guys, come trade with us for free. Obviously, this is not long-term sustainable, and they have done fees since, but they've also incentivized to use the BNB token to get cheaper fees. So continue to say this way was key to bringing in a large user base quickly, which day traders wouldn't want to avoid fees. 100%. Not that I'm a day trader, but who likes fees? Fees ranging from 2% to 0.2 to 0.5% were eliminated. For a trader who moves around $250,000 volume monthly, this would be a saving of between $500 and $1,250. So that already gives you a lot of utility for the BNB token. So what's the BNB token supply and how does it work? So Binance has a fixed 200 million coin supply that can be created. What? Binance is fixed? Yes, with 100 million which was released during the ICO, 80 million which is kept and held by the team, and 20 million of that was distributed to the early and angel investors. Binance plans to destroy 20% of their profits annually until only 100 million coins remain. So like I said, there's a token burn that happens every quarter, and they look to burn 20% of all profits made. So that's a huge amount of money, and we'll go on to that shortly. We've already discussed that they are incredibly progressive when it comes to their exchange and their technology. So their processing abilities, Binance has the ability to process over 1.4 million transactions per second. That's roughly 5 billion transactions per hour. So, that's an enormous amount of transactions. I think it's a little bit excessive, to be fair. But if you can do it, why not? And of course, it allows them to scale. And I'm sure that they will be able to scale even more than this. And when it comes to their decentralized exchange, it'll be really quite interesting to see how this works. To put this into perspective, this number can be compared to the capacity of transactions of other exchanges, the capacity of transactions per coin on the exchange, or determining the potential transactions per second. An exchange may have a high transaction per second ability, although this doesn't necessarily declare the exchange as having a higher processing ability. This is true. So what got me really into Binance was that I could pretty much settle my trade immediately. Obviously, you market buy or you market sell. You shouldn't always be doing that, but you should. But if you're really not too keen on getting the best price, the order matching engine is immediate, pretty much, if you market sell, market buy. So that's really awesome. And it was the first time I'd ever really had that. And I've been involved in crypto for a long time now. So market competition, many other teams such as Mothership and Cobinhood, etc. are creating and have created trading-free exchanges. But no exchange has been growing into the same momentum as Binance has. Let's take a look closer at Mothership. So Mothership has completed their ICO and plans to launch beta within 6 to 9 months. So, sorry, this is from October, so maybe this is not relevant to you guys. But Binance releases their exchange only 1 month after raising their funds from their ICO. So it shows you that they were probably using the majority of the money from the ICO for liquidity. Initially, they had spent all the money and done all the hard work at building this exchange and getting it ready. And then, once they had raised the money, only a month later were they ready to come out and show the world Binance and allow us to use it. So just potential future features for Binance and the exchange. They talk about the Pro mode, which is already happening. And then, of course, we're going to look into later the decentralized exchange, which for me is one of the most exciting things that Binance have on the agenda. Of course, they also do have the Binance Labs, which we will cover now as well. Okay, cool. So that was kind of just a better understanding of what Binance is and how it started and its progression so far. So the reason I'm actually wanting to show you this is the last Binance burn, which was in April. So they burned 2.2 million Binance tokens, which was roughly $30 million. So let that sink in. So there was no need for them to do this. Obviously, it's part of their tokenomic model, which actually eventually allows the BNB token to be worth that kind of money. But still, they literally have just taken $30 million and got rid of it in a split second. So it's crazy to think that. So how it works is that every quarter, Binance burns 20% of profits in BNB tokens. This is Sizu speaking in this Medium post. He says, we just burned 2.2 million, and that was, in April, making our quarterly profit $150 million US. So crazy money for a startup, and they've basically gone ahead and got rid of 20% of that in a minute or in a second. So it continues to say the older Binancians have pretty much figured this out even before today. But the Bitcoin price and trading volume, as a rough overall indicator of the industry, have decreased compared to last quarter. So of course, the quarter prior to that was a little bit more, bullish. But this doesn't mean that the Binance token hasn't done well. It says, as an exchange, we collected less in commissions in fiat, but because the BNB price was also lowered during parts of the quarter, we collected more Binance token. This is the designed effect for our token economics. When the price is lower, BNB will be burned more quickly. So just to let that sink in, so when Binance token, the lower the trading volume through the exchange and the lower the price of the Binance token, the more will be burned and the quicker it will be burned. So that's really awesome. That's a great tokenomic model, and I think they were one of the first to do that. I really do like. You've seen a lot more decentralized exchanges, and not decentralized exchanges, but exchanges in general coming up with this whole burn sort of feature. And then it just continues to say that they made obviously some serious progress recently by getting ready to offer some sort of fiat gateway in Malta. So Sisu says M for Malta. I'd like to say special thanks to the Prime Minister Joseph Muscat for welcoming us to Malta, and to Mr. Silviu Shrembri for making it happen. I believe crypto prices would certainly be lower if it weren't for these gentlemen. That's the reason I've mentioned this here, because I know they were going through a little bit of FUD in Japan, and they needed to come up with a decision, and obviously landed in Malta. And he believes that these two gentlemen in Malta helped the market not to dump further, which is, you know, good on these guys. So yeah, so that's kind of the Binance burn. And again, just to remind you guys, the next burn is next month in July. Don't know the exact date, but it's next month. Okay, so another great piece of news that's come out of Binance recently is that they're looking to, already have started a fund. So it's called Binance Labs. It's a roughly $1 billion fund, which is going to be investing in startups and also in blockchain funds. So as I said in the opening, it's like a fund of funds, which is really quite bullish. And, you know, they're going to have a lot of great projects wanting to be involved here. So in this article from CoinDesk, it says Binance, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, has announced it is launching a $1 billion social impact fund to foster the growth of blockchain and cryptocurrency startups. Ella Zhang, which we'll go look at her Medium post next, head of the exchange's incubator program, Binance Labs, said during an online meetup on Thursday that the capital for the fund will be coming from Binance's own reserves as a way to contribute to the industry. So that's a really great thing to see. It says Binance will pour in $1 billion over 10 phases of $100 million each. In essence, will create a blockchain create a combination of a fund of funds, a fund that invests in other funds, and a direct fund that invests in blockchain startups. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And it just shows you how far they have come, that they are literally looking as a non-profit way to help these startups to gain funding, and they're looking at startups that could fundamentally help the industry, as we will see now. So here's a Medium post from Ella Zhang. It came out maybe 2 weeks ago now. She's the head of Binance Labs and will be running it, along with a great team of individuals, which we won't be covering today, but they do have a great team. So what we're going to do is quickly read through this. Kind of starts down here. So what is the Binance Labs goal? So Binance Labs is a social impact fund. It is an initiative to incubate, invest, and empower top blockchain and cryptocurrency entrepreneurs, projects, and communities. Binance Labs is not a profit-driven fund, but an impact-driven, mission-driven, passion-driven strategic fund for the entire ecosystem, not just for Binance. So, you know, when it comes to corporate social responsibility, you know, Binance obviously takes that really seriously, which I love to see, because I myself and our company here at Bitassist, not that we're anything like Binance, but we do take corporate social responsibility really seriously. You know, we're looking to help people, and it looks like Binance is looking to help the industry as a whole, not just looking to profit out of this industry. So a few of the problems they're looking to solve in terms of investing in certain projects where they could help the industry. So the problems we are trying to solve are some of the biggest challenges we see in the space. So obviously scalability has been an issue for many years. Decentralization, privacy, security, and compliance. So these are actually the sort of industries that a lot of people find really not that sexy at all. But to be honest with you, the first two are incredibly important: scalability and decentralization. If we want to, have a long-term cryptographic future and economy, we need to be able to scale this properly, and of course, we need to make sure it continues to stay as decentralized as possible. When it comes to privacy, it's just as important as well. I think the next wave of like a revolution or change will be for privacy, for our privacy. That we'll soon, not soon, but hopefully in the near future, be back in charge of our own data and our own privacy, instead of just being completely open to data fraud and to privacy fraud and to big organizations able to see what we do with our lives. And then of course security and compliance. What they want to look at first and how they want to help is that we want to solve the scalability issue without sacrificing interoperability. We want to achieve decentralization while ensuring efficiency. We want to preserve privacy while not compromising transparency. We want to enhance security while promoting usability. And then lastly, we want to be compliant while making sure each project maintains a good governance. So these are all great things to to consider, and the fact that they are considering it just shows you that they are looking at what is best for the space, and they really are showing the rest of the world, or the crypto world, a great corporate social responsibility. So I did briefly mention the team, but looking at the team for Binance Labs, building up a great team is my first priority, she says. The Labs team will consist of blockchain evangelists, entrepreneurs, developers, researchers, and investors who are dedicated to the long-term impact of the blockchain revolution. She continues to say she's very proud to bring on 5 to the group: Tech Chai, Christy Huyan, Choi, Ling Zhang, and Benjamin Ramu, and of course herself. We are truly a global and distributed team based out of planet Earth. So that's quite cool. You can actually, via their Twitter, they've tweeted out their team members of Binance Labs with a small blurb under each one, so you can better understand them. So the investment focus. So that's one big question a lot of you will have. It's like, okay, so where's this money going to go? Like, what sort of projects are they going to invest in? So they're going to be looking at public blockchains, decentralized exchanges, custody, payments and wallets, stable digital currencies, and then compliant ATS security token platforms. So I think all of those are really quite interesting. So they're not like these small subs industries like, I don't know, like supply chain management and all that stuff. They're looking, firstly, public blockchain, most importantly. Obviously, we want as many public blockchains as possible. Decentralized exchanges, Binance have been researching that for a while, I believe, and will have their own in the near future. Huge part is custody. I think that's going to be also, for like privacy and security, custody is going to be a big word, I think, throughout the rest of this year. As you'll see, Coinbase and all the rest are very keen on getting a custody solution. Stable digital currencies, that is very important for us to go mainstream. The majority of people and the laymen, they're like, but it goes up and down every day. Like, how am I supposed to like this thing if it's up and down every single other day, and I can't, have any reassurance that it's going to be worth the same as yesterday or the next day. So stable currencies are obviously very important. So what's the value proposition of Binance Labs? So many people would think that the biggest value we provide for our portfolio is liquidity. So she continues to say that's not necessarily the case. At Binance Labs, the listing team will make independent decisions. Investment from Binance Labs does not guarantee listing by default. So a lot of you might think that as well. I thought that as well. But if you are part of the Binance Labs, doesn't mean that they're going to list you like by default. That's not the case. It's case by case. However, continues to say, as Labs team, we go through a rigorous due diligence process with high standards to support top-notch projects, and will provide advisory service of course, for free. So that is great, you know, that they of course take it very seriously, their due diligence, and then of course to be able to advise on each project that they bring on. In terms of partnerships, as we discussed earlier, Binance have partnered with a lot of great people. For Binance Labs, they're looking at partnering with MIT Digital Currency Initiative, a leading organization in the open source cryptocurrency space. IC3, the Initiative for Cryptocurrency and Contracts, initiative of the university faculty members. And then, of course, Programming, Blockchain, an initiative to cultivate blockchain developers across the globe. Cool, so it just says here lastly, it says Binance Labs will be where ideas starts, where technology innovates, where researchers struggle. We value every effort made behind the scene that enables all innovations we see in the market. So yeah, I think Binance Labs there could be some seriously strong projects coming out of Binance Labs, and I think there are, you know, perfectly suited to be these sort of innovators and influencers for the future of crypto. We look at one of the coins that's joined Binance Labs already. It's called Multicoin, a cryptocurrency advised by the creator of Signal. Has raised just over $30 million, and maybe mainly towards like a privacy sort of style mobile payments, I believe. So it says a new privacy-centric cryptocurrency project with some big names on board just raised a round worth noting. On Tuesday, the team at Multicoin announced that Binance Labs, the major blockchain incubator associated with Binance Exchange, led a $30 million round denominating in Bitcoin and Ether for the new cryptocurrency. Multicoin will enjoy proprietary consideration for being listed on Binance as part of the relationship. So yeah, maybe guys go check out Multicoin. I will leave this in the comments as well. Not going to be able to go through all of this right now. But one of the articles a lot of you would probably, you know, skip through to, I'll put a timestamp in for this, is kind of like they put a lot of effort into this article. You'll see like it is mega long, and it's got a huge amount of graphs and a lot of explaining on, you know, why they come to the numbers they do. So basically I just wanted to take you through the initial part of it. So evaluation calculated for the Binance coin. According to them, a fair price is $39. This was done in April. Keep in mind, this was done in April. So, doesn't necessarily, don't take this as you know, stone, or what's the word, as gospel. Sorry, yeah. So they kind of go through here what the circulating and total supply is, and then the different burns and how much they were in US dollars. So the first burn ever was $986,000. 1.3 million, 1.8 million, and then holy shit, 37 million. Look at that jump. That's phenomenal. Q2. Oh, sorry, this is US dollar value. What am I saying? Okay, yeah, but still, that's obviously because the Binance token shot up in value during January, like the rest of the market. So 37 million. Wow, that's a lot. And then 29 million. And it'll be interesting to see what the next one is. So wielding down to what it matters, it says implied fair price of the BNB coin with the current circulating supply. They suggest it's around $53, the fair price. With the total supply in consideration, they'd say the fair price is around $30. So still, you know, there's still a long way to go. At least double that, if not more, if you're looking at that number. This guy says the outlook for Binance is very good. Exchange volumes are on a parabolic uptrend drawn on a logarithmic scale. The bear market in Q1 2018 was barely affected by this. So, you know, even in a bear market, you know, the trading volumes on Binance and the BNB token are still really doing very well. It says, furthermore, the model I wrote neglected an income source that could be great, namely the income from the VC arm Binance Labs. So we've just gone over that. So that's true. So this model that he's done has not included the potential income that Binance Labs could generate, you know, going forward. It says here in mid-July 2018, the discount for paying fees in BNB falls. Okay, guys. So remember, it's 50% for buying with BNB token. It's next month going to fall to 25%. So, i.e., the discount fee rises from 0.05% to 0.075%. There will be a 50% increase in the Binance revenue as a result. So that's a huge increase in revenue, and therefore they're going to have to burn that much more at the end of every quarter. So that can only mean good things for Binance Coin. And that could really be quite a catalyst for the whole industry, along with maybe EOS. I think EOS could actually be a catalyst for the next bull run, once the mainnet has been validated and a few dApps are kicking about on it. And also, maybe July could be a good month for us all. Let's hope so. So this is a little extract on the Binance chain with the decentralized exchange announcement. So Binance announced that it will create a Binance chain and will provide a decentralized exchange that handles transactions through an automated process, eliminating the need for third party to hold and trade funds. So you're pretty much just going from person to person decentralized exchange. You never need to worry that Binance is going to get themselves hacked. But funds are safer. I don't know if anybody's watched that video, but with Sizu. Okay, so he looks into how this potentially could affect the revenue model going forward. But like I said, this is a long article. It's got great data in it, so I'm going to leave the description in the comments and in the link in the description and in the comments. So check that out. Before I finish, just want to quickly look at this press release that did come out 3 months ago now, just in terms of Binance Chain, their decentralized exchange. They will release, I don't know when, but hopefully soon. So they say, after extensively researching decentralized exchange frameworks and analyzing existing implementations, we believe significant improvements can be made in providing Binance users with a level of trading experience to which they are already accustomed. Centralized and decentralized exchanges will coexist in the future. That is totally true. Complementing each other while also having independence. We stand here today because we believe that blockchain technology will change the world. In the face of adversity, we have always elected to tackle issues head-on instead of retreating. As such, we have decided to officially launch the development of the Binance Chain. As a public blockchain, Binance Chain will mainly focus on the transfer and trading of blockchain assets, as well as provide new possibilities for future flow of blockchain assets. Binance Chain will also focus on performance, ease of use, and of course liquidity. Binance Coin BNB will be upgraded to coexist on its own blockchain mainnet, becoming a native coin at the same time. Binance will transition from being a company to a community. I thought that was a great way to leave you guys today. Talking about a community though, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. All of you that are part of the Bitassist community that's reviewed today. I really enjoy talking about Binance. I think it's a fantastic company and a fantastic exchange with a great leader in Sizu. So if you've enjoyed this, guys, and you like Binance, give us a good old like now. If you've watched it all the way through, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. If you're new here, guys, go ahead and subscribe. And, of course, remember, join our newsletter if you're looking for inside tips from a cryptocurrency brokerage. In the description and in the comments below, I'll leave a link there. And, again, it's been a pleasure speaking to everybody today, whoever's watched. I'll be back on Friday to do the community review, coin review. Until then, everybody hodl strong and consider Binance. And again, before I do let you go though, this is not financial advice. This is just our due diligence that we do sometimes on particular coins and just show that to you on YouTube. Remember, make your own decisions and be wise. Don't just follow the crowd. I'm Maximilian, your crypto broker, and I'll see you guys again on Friday. Cheers.